Hello, welcome to my presentation on the Education Trust, advocating for high academic achievement for all. The United States education system is built on inequality and injustice. According to the United States Department of Education, 42% of white students aged 18 to 24 were enrolled in college in 2013, compared to 34% of Black and Hispanic students that age. A secondary education leads to a better trained individual, which can reduce the poverty level by more than half, as each extra year of schooling increases an individual's earnings by up to 10% and raises the average annual gross domestic product by 0.37% and promotes gender equity. Research done by the Department of Education found that 33% of white Americans aged 25 and older have at least a bachelor's degree, whereas only 19% of Blacks and 16% of Hispanics in that same age range have a bachelor's degree. This statistic, along with the percentages of white students enrolled in universities throughout the country versus Black and Hispanic students, proves that there is a gap in educational opportunity that the government has a moral obligation to address. The Education Trust nonprofit has committed to making a difference in these communities. Now, when we learn a little bit more about the Education Trust, I'm going to show you this brief video on somebody who is a leader in the program.
Educational justice is about ensuring that all students, regardless of their socioeconomic background, where they were born, what the color of their skin is, what the balance of their bank account is, who they love, what the tenets of their faith are, have access to the educational resources that will allow them to meet their full potential. And the reason why I'm so invested in ensuring that educational justice is available to all is because I wouldn't be here myself if the state, if the city, if my family, if my community had not invested in educational equity and justice so that I could meet my full potential. More people should join us in a movement toward educational justice because the future of this country depends on it. The inequality has reached a place where it's unsustainable. And the only way that we can bridge the gap between our current state of affairs and our professed aspirations as a nation is by ensuring that all students, young and adult alike, have a chance to meet their full potential so that that inequality can be reduced and that we can be on a more level playing field and be in a better position to advance the ideals of this country.
Okay, thank you for watching that. The Education Trust Foundation is dedicated to improving equity for students from preschool through college. Through the works of this organization, we've seen a drop in high school dropout rates and an increase in college enrollment rates. The Education Trust is dedicated to representing students who are often left behind in the education system. This organization works hands-on with policy making and has the goal of doing what is right for the students. This is achieved through 3 essential practices. The organization works alongside educators, parents, students, policymakers, and civic and business leaders in order to implement transformative change that betters the lives of all. In addition, the organization uses data analysis at the local, state, and national level in order to interpret the causes and effects of opportunity gaps and does studies on how to address them. The main mission of the organization is to write, analyze, and implement policies on the local, state, and national level that will help all students reach high levels of achievement. The core beliefs of the Education Trust organization are the guiding factors that motivate people to continue the work towards equitable education. The core values of the Education Trust are believing in the power of education to elevate the social status of low-income students, valuing the opportunities that a quality education presents in terms of mastering any knowledge base needed to succeed, being determined in the mission to eradicate opportunity gaps through programs both inside and outside of the classroom, and understanding that education is a vital factor in building a stronger America for tomorrow. In order to assure that their goals are being met, the Education Trust focuses on 10 vital issues regarding education policy. These include accountability, closing gaps all along the achievement spectrum, college and career-ready standards and assessments, deferred action for childhood arrivals, dual enrollment, funding equity, high-performing schools, the Every Student Succeeds Act of 2015, strong teachers and leaders, and student experiences. The stories behind the stories behind the numbers. For the purpose of this presentation, we will focus on 4 of these issues. One area of focus in their policy initiative revolves around closing the gaps across the achievement spectrum. In order to achieve this goal, the organization provides interactive tools and an analysis of the achievement data that focuses on the productivity of students on an international, national, and state level for all groups of students. This program also focuses on using this data to confirm that policies geared towards closing up the opportunity gap are working, and there is statistical evidence of this process. In order to further the study, the organization is consistently conducting research and data analysis to document the gaps. A second program that the Education Trust Initiative works hard to make a reality is the College and Career Ready Standards and Assessments. This content focuses on advocating for high quality and instructional support for all teachers, as well as deconstructing barriers that may limit students' resources and college readiness. In terms of policy implementation, the College and Career Ready Standards and Assessments helps to outline more rigorous standards for all students while encouraging academic engagement. Low-income students, who are disproportionately students of color, lack access to resources from the public education system, even though these students are the most disadvantaged from the beginning. The funding disparities in American public schools contributes to a system that is separate and unequal. According to the Education Trust Organization, school districts serving the large populations of Black, Latino, or Native American students receive roughly $1,800, or 13% less per student in state and local funding than those serving the fewest students of color as of 2018. In order to address this issue, the organization implements policy initiatives to ensure that federal Title I dollars flow to the high poverty schools and districts that are in the most need. A very influential policy that was implemented in 2015 by President Obama is the Every Student Succeeds Act, which provides an equal opportunity for students to be protected by the public education system. The Education Trust Organization works to support this policy through state leaders, advocates, educators, parents, and policymakers. The dedicated employees of this organization understand the promising opportunities provided with a bachelor's degree, and they work endlessly to make this dream a reality for many low-income students. This goal is achieved through 5 essential focuses: access, affordability and financial aid, completion and success, and lift the ban on Pell Grants for students who are incarcerated, and the reauthorization of the Higher Education Act. Financial aid programs are widely beneficial and increase college access for a large variety of students, but these funds are denied to students who need them the most. This is largely due to the fact that there are poorly targeted federal tax benefits, steep declines in state financial supports for higher education, and the shift from need-based to non-need-based aid. The Affordability and Financial Aid Program works to protect and improve the Pell Grant program, which makes higher education accessible for over 7.5 million students. In addition, the program works to address the broken financial aid system through policy processes to serve low-income and working-class backgrounds. The Education Trust Organization has found that African Americans are 2 times less likely and Latinos 2.5 times less likely than white young adults to have a bachelor's degree. Students from the lowest income families are 7 times less likely to earn a bachelor's degree by the age of 24 than their peers from the highest income families. In order to address this, the program has implemented policies that improve student retention and completion. The Education Trust also advocates for students who have been incarcerated in order to lift the ban on Pell Grants. This program is dedicated to expand high-quality educational opportunities in response to the 1994 crime bill that put innocent people in jail for nonviolent drug offenses. The program works in partnership with other organizations focusing on education and criminal justice reform and lobbies Congress to #LiftTheBan. Another forgotten consequence of the crime bill is the fact that 54% of incarcerated adults have children under the age of 18, and this program helps to support these children in their educational careers. The Higher Education Act was passed to ensure that no student would be left behind in their educational endeavor due to financial concerns. The Higher Education Act has been beneficial because it encourages students to vote, volunteer, and maintain good health. The end goals of this organization are to advocate for students who who need it most at the state and federal level for equitable policies. A second end goal is to impact education policy from preschool to the college level, so all throughout a student's educational career. The third end goal is to serve under-resourced students in their educational endeavor. Thank you for listening.